fun for us to make some cookies today. Who doesn't love some cookies? And I am going to just do the traditional Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookies. We're going to make them ooey. We're going to make them gooey. And from scratch. So, one of the first things I have to do is turn on the oven. Thank you so much for joining me. You've got Mary Live, where we're going to make some cookies tonight. Gonna get a sweet tooth? Let's make some cookies. So, we're going to bake it. We're going to go at 375. Set that oven. And I got some nifty new containers. So I'm going to bring over both my sugar and my flour. So we need sugar. We're going to need flour. And we are going to need a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to, oh, and I need to get my eggs. I've got to get my eggs out of the refrigerator. Here at the farm, I collect the eggs from the hens every day. So I have a couple of eggs to use. So farm to table right here at the farm. I use the eggs that the hens lay. Thank you so much for the hearts and for liking me. Just a public announcement. People have reached out to me to say that someone's reaching out to them, pretending to be me. And I want you to know, I don't reach out to people like that. So that is definitely a phony, a fake. Do not engage with that. If you have any questions about where you can find me, please go on my profile. So it'll tell you how to see me on all my different social media platforms. And I appreciate each one of these platforms allowing me to go live. You've got me, it's live, it's not Memorex. It may be difficult for me to answer any questions because they scroll so quick, and I get so many hearts and gifts, which I love. Thank you so much for gifting me and for joining me here tonight while we make some chocolate chip cookies. All right. I'm going to start with a small bowl. So I need a small bowl and a big bowl. They're not the same size. Great. Smaller, bigger, small bowl, big bowl. I'm going to start with the small bowl. And in that small bowl, I am going to mix 2¼ cups of flour. And it dawned on me after I decided to do this that here at the farm, I don't have a hand mixer or one of those big baking mixers. I have one at the Florida property, but not here on the farm. So I will be beating by hand. Yes, you've got me beating by hand tonight. It's all gonna be manual, no power, no power. It'll be, if you've been following me for a while, you'll have known that's one of my videos that has gone viral. And that viral video is me poking my head through my gate at the front of the farm and stating that the gate was manual, that I was going to have to operate it by manual and manually. And then I did get power to it, so I did a follow-up to let everybody know that I am fully powered now as far as my gate swinging open and closed. So thank you for everybody helping me make that video go viral. I think it is still going viral today, so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see, this one's going to be the sugar, it's larger. That's going to go in the big, it's going to go in the big one to start off with. So we're going to start off with the small canister. Now these are, they're Becken. I got them on Amazon, but I absolutely love them. They are, originally they're for coffee, but I found them to be perfect for my different flours, sugars. There's a lot of sugar ants here, as well as fire ants and anything else. So here at the farm, I've used helicopter going overhead. I have some late arriving guests by helicopter. No, just joking. But what I found is I really like these canisters. They're airtight they keep everything fresh. It doesn't go stale in there. So sometimes, like coconut flakes, if you get the coconut flakes and you use them, but you don't, if you ever cook with coconut flakes, and you don't utilize the whole bag of the coconut flakes, and then you go to get them later, they'll be brown and they'll be stale. So this will keep them airtight. It's also great for coffee, which is the original purpose of it, is coffee. You can, on the top, you put your dates and how long it's good for, so it's adjustable here. But what I need right now is 2¼ cups of flour. And yes, I just put the flour inside of it. I haven't emptied it out yet. It's brand new, so let's do cups. I'm gonna oh my cups fell out. They fell off. I didn't check to see that it was attached. So now all those are on the floor. I'll have to get those later. All right, let's start off with our flour. Here I just used all-purpose flour, white all-purpose flour, and I am going to make 2. Yes, I'm pouring it over I am pouring it over it. So if you can't see that, let me pull this back so you can see. There's it's not quite one, but I already get some in the bowl, so we're going to go with 1 on that. Let me get in here and make this a little bit easier to pour. Excellent. So, thank you for joining me. You got Mary Live. We're going to make some ooey gooey chocolate chip cookies. The Nestle Toll House original. We're doing it from scratch and we're doing it by hand. I've got no power as far as my mixers, so I'm going to be churning it by hand. All right, so that's 2. That's 2. Now, I have to get down on the ground and figure out my quarter. Here we go. And ta-da! I'm back. Okay. Here we have, I am going to rinse them off. This one should be the little one. This one should be 1/4. I'm hoping it's not 1/3. Do I have my glasses? It's all in black. You can't see how big it is. There. All right. Yes. That one is an 1/8. That one's an 1/8. So I would need 2 of those. Or that one's 1/4. So we're just going to use the 1/4. Excellent. So 1/4 it is. Of course, I'm going to rinse it, and since it fell on the ground, and I usually do a 3-second rule, and it stayed on the ground for longer than 3 seconds. So there you have it. I'm going to take it and make sure it's not sitting properly tonight. There we go. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. You got Mary Live. And we're making some cookies. So stay with me. I just had to rinse off my little 1/4 thing because I accidentally dropped it on the ground. Oopsies. Thank you for the hearts. I love hearts. So I hope everybody is having a good Thursday night. On Thursday? Thursday. There we go. There's another 1/4. And if you really want to be persnickety about it, the way that I was taught to measure it off and make sure that it was in is you take the back end of a butter knife, the part that's flat, and the highest point, you scrape it back to the lowest point. There you go. You fill it in. Anything that goes over. And then you do an actual swipe across the top. That's how I was taught to do it. Don't know if that's right or wrong, but it's pretty even. There. So that is my flour. I can now wrap that back up, put it back in its airtight container, and put it back on the shelf until the next time I need it. Thank you so much for joining me here, Mary Live. on your social media platform. I thank all the platforms for allowing me to go live and be live here with you. I usually don't interact too much. I thank you for the hearts and the gifts, and I love them and I appreciate them. And I just, everything scrolls so fast I can't quite keep up with it, so bear with me. I will hold a little comments or whatever at the end, so stay tuned so you can eat some of it. All right, so that is my 2 1/4 cups of flour. Now I need 1 teaspoon. So we're gonna go with the 1 teaspoon here of baking soda. This is also brand new here, so I have to pierce it. See, I have to pierce it. And I don't have my knife. I've misplaced my knife. I love my knife, but I've misplaced it. It's usually right on my hip. All right, so same thing here. This one I can just use the top and scrape it if I wanted to. There. Scrape it, so now I have a teaspoon. That was a teaspoon, right? Oh, was it half a teaspoon? What do we have here? What does it say? That was a half teaspoon. Good thing I checked that. So that was only 1, so I need 2 of those because we need a full teaspoon. So there's a teaspoon. Excellent. Teaspoon. Now I need a teaspoon of salt as well. And I only have a salt mill, so I did pre-salt in here. Just so you know. There's a little bit there. And I'm gonna get in there and scrape some more out. I don't want it too salty. Okay. There's. I do have some actual sea salt that I will be utilizing later. Here's some, the big honkin' sea salt. See those little crystals there? I'll be using those when it comes time. That goes right in the salt bucket. When I want to a little bit later, because that gives it a tiny little bit of an extra to it. All right, so now these are together, and all I have to do is stir them and make some. There, that's it. Okay, so that's ready. Ready to go right there. Okay, now we're on to the next part. I need now we go with the big bowl. Big bowl. Thank you for joining in. You've got Mary live. It's live, it's not Memorex. I am using Kerrygold, Irish, of course I have to go with the Kerrygold butter, sorry. And I use unsalted butter. When you're cooking, it is better to use unsalted butter because you put salt in everything, pretty much. So if you have salted butter and then you add salt to it, you've already added too much salt. And I am not a fan of salt. I keep the salt minimal, except for as an accent to what we're cooking, not as a main ingredient. Okay, so they're softened. These are very malleable, right? Very squishy, very, very malleable. So I can. It doesn't want to come out of the paper. Doesn't want to come out of a wrapper. Wanted to stay in the wrapper. Oh no, do not stay in the wrapper. There. I want the butter in the bowl, not in the wrapper. We are making chocolate chip cookies this evening. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the hearts and the gifts. I truly appreciate them and you, my fans. Please note that I do not reach out to you. So if you are getting unsolicited stuff from me, guess what? It's a scammer. It is not me. So please, you are on my Bonafide account. I am live with you right here, right now. You are here with me in my bunkhouse kitchen. So you have been, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that this Bunkhouse Kitchen is going through transformations and renovations. So I have laid a new floor. We went from a water resistant floor to a waterproof floor. In addition to that, we have had a granite countertop installed on top of the hickory cabinets. And I drilled the drawers and installed all the handles, as well as a flip down front to the sink to store my sponges and steel wools and everything else. I kept the cutout for that stainless steel. I have a stainless steel workstation here that I absolutely love. It's a single basin, so it really comes in handy when I am cleaning the Stella or the cookie sheets and baking pans and whatever. When you have that divider in the middle and it divides right through that middle, it is awfully difficult. It doesn't fit. It sticks out the end. So now with the big basin right here, I can put everything in it that needs to go in it and wash it as needed. It comes with integrated cutting board, as well as a drying rack right here on the behind me. So that is always another thing. And if you can see behind me, I have now installed my shelving. The shelving is up and it's underneath these upper cabinets, which I still have to drill the handles for those. Yes, that it will be coming. I haven't done it yet. We will be drilling the handles for that, which are in the drawer and ready to go. Just haven't done it yet. So we're gonna drill those handles. Those are smaller. Those are only 3. These are 3 1/4, and it doesn't. You don't think it makes a big difference, but those are 3, and they're much smaller. They're much smaller. Anyways, so the shelving is up, so that's good. I've been able to put some of my cooking items up on those shelves, as well as bowls and cups and everything else. I have a separate section over on the other side that is its own breakfast coffee nook. So that has the Keurig, all my coffees, coffee cups, everything to do with that. Oatmeals and coffee cake breakfasts are all over there, ready to go in the morning when you wake up. I did make the other day, if you saw my live, I did do a morning breakfast fruit plate. I sliced up the fruit, put some yogurt in the middle with berries and the granola. So 2 slices of banana nut bread. So that's another live that I did. Hopefully you guys have followed me. If you're not following me, you should follow me. There's always something fun happening here at the farm. If you wonder where the farm is, I'm in Alabama. So the other property that I have renovated is in Florida. So if I'm not in Alabama, I'm in Florida. And if I'm not in either one of those, I'm traveling somewhere. So you never know where you're gonna find me. Because I also have an RV, and that RV is now out in the pole barn. That's another exciting addition here to the farm. The pole barn is up, and underneath that pole barn is the bigger vehicles. So the RV is there. I've run utilities out there, just waiting to be able to hook everything up, and then I'll be able to have another area for us to all explore and have fun with. Let's see. So I got away from my cookies. All right, we've got the butter. I now need 3/4 of a cup. So let's see what we've got here. That's 1/3. That's not going to help me. And here I have 1/2. So I'm going to need 1/2. And I'm going to need that's 1/3. That's not going to help me. And I'm going to need to make my 3/4, I'm going to need 1/2 and 1/4. 3/4. All right. So we're going to do 3/4 of a cup of actual sugar, and then 3/4 of a cup for the brown sugar. All right, and I'm just gonna twist here just a little bit. Okay, excellent. A just minor adjustment. There we go. So that's in. So let's cut this one open. I'm just gonna rip it. Grip it and rip it. Let's see if we can grip it and rip it right there. All right. Thank you everybody for joining in. We've got Mary live, and I'm attempting to make some chocolate chip cookies from scratch. And you have to go with the Nestle Toll House. It's a staple. Gotta do it. And it's all going manual because I don't have a I don't have a hand mixer or a big bowl mixer. So we are doing it by hand. So here I can just dig in and hopefully not make a mess. We shall see. I gotta dig in deeper. Gotta get it deeper. Okay. Now I should just be able to shimmy, shake it. Shimmy, shake it. And again, I can use that knife if I want to. Turn it over, slide it across, and I got a nice even. There's a half. Now I also need a 1/4, so we're gonna put a 1/4 in and do the same thing. All right, add that in. We're gonna do the same thing with the brown sugar. Now, I was always taught to pack the brown sugar. You don't just pour it in there. Okay, so when you grab it, I'm just going to stick it in there. All right. Gonna manhandle it a little bit. Okay, so now I have it in there pretty good, but I'm going to press down on it and make sure it's all nice and packed. And as you can see, sometimes brown sugar is fluffy. So if you pour it in there, it's going to be fluffy, and it's taking up that airspace. It's not really the true count of what you want. So for instance, I'm not going to pack it, but I am going to mound it up. So there, this brown sugar section is now way fluffier. It looks like it's overflowing, but it's not, because when I press it down, a little bit drip out, but there, when I press it down, it is barely in the rim. So, brown sugar's fluffy. Again, dump it in there. All right. So now, those 3 ingredients I am going to beat. Dun, 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 dun. We'll see. I don't know if this is going to be strong enough. We're going to see if I can beat it. Just like this. That's not going to be strong enough. We're going to be here all night if I have to do it that way. I may have to move on to alter. Yeah, like that's not going to work. Need something way heavier, stiffer. That's way too malleable. Oh, do I need my eggs yet? Not yet. Because I have to go to remind me, I gotta go and get my eggs. Okay. So we're gonna just use something a little bit. There we go. This is gonna take a long time if I keep doing it this way. But that's okay. We're gonna get in there. I told you it's all gonna be manual tonight. I'm gonna have to keep banging it and mixing it and banging it and mixing it and banging it and mixing it. Doing it all by hand. But now, as you can see, it's getting a nice texture to it, right? It's congealing together, but oops, there go my glasses. It's congealing together, but it's not, I'm gonna smoosh it on the backside. Go. You can see that we're smooshing it, mixing it all together. All right. So Next, I'm going to add my eggs. So hang on, I have to go off screen for like 2 seconds. I gotta go in the fridge and go get my, I'll pick up the glass, it's too problematic. And go in and go get my eggs. Farm fresh eggs right here from the farm. I get to collect every day. Alright, so for instance, these eggs here were collected from 5'6" to 5'9". Those are the eggs. I used one egg a couple of nights ago, or was it last night? Last night, when I made the pasta, the garlic bread, and I tossed a salad. Well, when I tossed the salad, I also hard boiled one of these eggs. So, what I need to do now is crack the egg. So I'm going to come over here, grab the bowl, and move that off out of the way for the moment. Yes, I'm a very messy cook, but as you can see, I cleaned up. I cleaned up from last night's mess, so I can make another mess tonight. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. You've got Mary. I'm live. I'm here to make ooey gooey chocolate chip cookies with you. So, thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoy the content that I'm putting out. I'm here for you guys. I want to make this as enjoyable as possible for you guys. There's always something fun and exciting happening here at the farm, and I like to share it with you. Bring you on this journey with me. All right, so I have one egg here, and I am going to, let's use the whisk on that one, because I have to get that back in there, and it wants me to put one egg at a time in the big mixture. So I always crack it in something else first, because if I get shells in here, I can take the shell out of this very easily, as opposed to cracking it here and having the shell get in this. Then you have a cookie with shell in it. Who wants a cookie with some shell in it? All right, so we're gonna put that in. I'm saving this because I have to beat another egg, and now I've got, I wanted to do that again. I wanted to use this, and it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I need to use the bigger spoon and get in there, and here's my egg, and stir, stir, stir. Stir, 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 quick, 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 quick. Thank you so much for joining me here on social media, whichever platform you're on. Thank you for joining me. You've got Mary live as I am beating my egg in my mixture. As you can tell, I am mixing it by hand. I do not have a hand mixer, nor do I have nor do I have one of the big mixers. So you've got me doing it right here manually. So you gotta love when you have to do everything manually, right? It's a good workout for the arms. It is, and your chest. So if you follow me, you'll know that I'm always up to something, whether it be working out, because I do post some of those workout videos. If you saw one of my ones in the pole barn earlier tonight, that I posted just a little while ago, you'll know that I broke my necklace. So yes, I've already fixed it. I had to get some needle nose pliers, but I was going down and doing a push-up while I was suspended in the air, and it fell down in a crack, and when I came up out of the push-up, it popped, and it popped off the necklace. It bent the gold. So I was able to fix the situation and get it back on the end. And what I interchange these all the time. It is a handmade necklace. I tried to get someone to make this necklace for me. I knew what I wanted, and they wouldn't do it for me. A jeweler wouldn't do it, so I did it myself using 2 different necklaces. I clipped a piece of one of them. I clipped one in the middle, and I clipped another bracelet using the same size links. And then I use the clip on the end so that I can interchange it, as sometimes you'll see me, I'll have a 4-leaf clover on there. Right now I have a compass rose on there. Other times I'll have the scales of justice. Let's see, what other things do I have? What other charms do I have? I have an ice skate. I have to be able to see this. There. I couldn't see it as I was trying to put it back on. But it has a little lobster claw at the bottom of it. So, and that dangles from that carabiner. I always want to put an extra G in there and it isn't. It isn't there. So, anyways, and this does open, so I can change the length of the necklace if I want to. So that's a little something extra. If you, like I said, if you saw, oh, thank you for the big hearts. I love big hearts. I love big gifts like that. All right, so I'm one egg down. These are farm fresh eggs. They're here from the farm. They're from my hens. And these are eggs that I collected from 5'6" to 5'9". When you collect them, if you keep them at room temperature, they're good for up to 2 weeks. If I refrigerate them, they're good for up to 3 months. So that's my own farm fresh egg. So I took one from there, I took one from there. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So I guess we're gonna go with this one. We're gonna go with the light one. We're gonna fix those. I like things to be evened out. So there. Now I've got 3 eggs in this batch. Put it in the little bowl. Crack it. Make sure I have no that's a little gooey there, huh? That membrane just wants to drip on down. Doesn't quite want to come all the way out. I may have to scrape it off the edge. Come on. There. Alright. And no shell on the inside. So I am good to beat it for a second. Whisk it for a second. Now oftentimes I don't use a whisk. I just use a fork on it. But we're gonna whisk it around for a minute. A second or two. Nice and gooey. And drop all that in. Now it does state to do these one at a time, and then beat the mixture one at a time, and then beat the mixture. And then when we're done with that, we are going to add in, I'm now done with this, so into the sink it goes. Rinse it out. Rinse my hands while we're at it. Okay. My apron got stuck on the handle. One of the reasons you get a knob, not a handle, I guess. So, alright. There. Okay. Now we're going to go back and mix this again. So thank you again for joining me, Mary, as we make some ooey gooey cookies. It is going to be the chocolate chip cookies from a Nestle Toll House. It's their original recipe. No fancy schmancy anything, but I want to make ooey gooey chocolate chip cookies with you tonight. It's going to be sweet. Although I only use semi-sweet. I don't use milk chocolate. I use semi-sweet morsels. Got like a little bite of this stuff. Okay, so now we're going to mix it all up. There you go. Mix it, mix it, mix it. Work it the other way. As I mentioned earlier, I'm doing this all manually. I'm beating it manually. Gotta beat it manually. And when one arm gets tired, I switch to the other. There you go. I am not nearly as proficient in beating it on this side, as you can tell. It's going to be a little bit slower. I'll still do it. I often use both hands. I am left-handed, but I do a lot of things ambidextrously or using both hands. So there. All right. So that's ready now for the next thing. Now we're going to combine little bits at a time of the flour mixture. Remember that flour mixture that we started off with? 2 1/4 cups of flour, as well as baking soda and salt. So we are going to dump, we're going to just dump a little bit. Tap the bottom. Let's tap it. There we go. Tap it. Can you see that? Tap it a little bit. Pour a little bit in there. Okay. pour a little bit in and you gotta beat it again. You know? It was a big plume that came out. And we're looking for that consistency of the, oh, and I also have to do the teaspoon of vanilla. Don't let me forget the teaspoon of vanilla. But we want to get this all in and mixed. As you can see, it's mixing up nicely, getting thicker. The flour is going to add that thickness to the mixture. The last mixture was all salt. It was sugar. It was the brown sugar, the melty butter, and the granulated sugar, as well as the 2 eggs. Ooh, that's getting stiffer. It's getting a little bit stiffer. Gonna have to beat it harder. There we go. Beat it harder. Get the consistency that we want. Get it right in there. All right. That's looking better. Now that we've got that going, it's time to add more to the mixture. So we're going to go back and we're going to tap a little bit more in there. So help me. Will you help me? Grab the bottom. Just tap it. Tap, 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 tap. Tap some in there. And we're going to go back and we're going to mix it again. Whoop. Now see, this would all be so much easier if I had a hand mixer. If I was powered, it would be a lot easier. But no, I have to do it from scratch. You know what? When this recipe first came out, I don't even know if there were hand mixers. They, you know, the hand beaters. When they first came out with this, it was probably just like I'm doing right now, doing it all manually and doing it all by hand. So again, getting down into the bottom, scraping the bottom, making sure that all that flour gets mixed in there. There. And then getting it so you get it to the consistency that we want. Thank you so much for joining me. You got Mary live as we are manually beating and making. That's it. You can do it. We can do it. I can do it with both hands. There we go. All right. Get a good stir on. There we go. Work it around, work it around. All right. And here we are. It's looking pretty good. And it's time probably to tap the last. We're going to tap the last of it. You ready to tap that last bit? All right, let's get it in there. It's all tapped out. Tap out. Tap out. It's all done. Put that in the sink to be washed at a later date. And you can see we're back at the beginning. So at the beginning, here we go. Grab it by the base, hold on to this big bottom, and whoop, don't let the flour. I'm gonna end up with flour all over me. All right, so it starts out, it's gonna be white and fluffy, very dusty. There we go. Start it mixing, slow mix. There we go, the slow mix as it starts to mix with the rest of it. And as it gets thicker, it's going to get harder to mix it all in. But we're going to scrape that side, get it to the middle, get that dough really working for us. And then I'm going to start with a clean-ish, and get all the sticky stuff off. All right, now I'm going to try to hold it in the middle, grab it around the middle, and like it's a big beater, just go to town and beat it. Just beat it. To quote Michael Jackson. I am no Michael, obviously I can't sing, so I'm not going to try. All right. Slipped out of my hands. It's a little slippery and it's very gooey. And we haven't even added the chips or the vanilla to it yet. Speaking of which, time to add that vanilla. Because we have now got it pretty well. I'm going to go this way, go that way. All right, get it going, get a good stir on. And then go that way, go the opposite way. Make sure you go both ways. ways when you're doing it. All right, we're gonna go this way. We can do it, we can do it. We have the technology, we have the will, the desire. When you come up across something that isn't the way you wanted it to, make lemonade out of lemons. All right. Like I said, I realized I did not have a hand mixer, so we are doing this all 100% from scratch. This is as scratch as you can get. I will lick my fingers now. That's yummy. Right. And I am out of paper towels with that. That's okay. I'm going to grab the vanilla. And a teaspoon of vanilla is going in here. So let's get that vanilla going. Crack the top, pop the top. Thank you for joining me here on Making It with Mary. We're having some fun making some ooey gooey cookies. Chocolate chip. It's the original Toll House. Yes, the original Nestle Toll House recipe with hand mixing because I don't have a power mixer. So no power, no problem. We're gonna get her done. Get her done. And you can help me get her done. Now we're gonna make sure. Where's my glasses? We don't want over vanilla. Okay, that's the half a teaspoon. So with that half a teaspoon, we are going to put 2 of those in. 1, just whoop. All right, a little bit extra. Be a little bit extra. There we go. And that is all in there. Stir it again. There. Stir, stir, stir. Mix that vanilla all in. So you get a little bit of vanilla in every bite. All right. Now, we got that. Okay. Now I can mix in the chocolate chips. Now they say, and it was supposed to be, don't mind me as I lick my fingers again. Let's see, that's 2 cups. 2 cups, which is probably the whole, I guess it's the whole thing. There we go. And we have a big cup here. So there's 1 cup. So it's about half. So we're gonna add some and then fold it in. I like morsels in every single cookie. I don't like them to be different. I don't like to have, I like to have not the same amount, but if I could, I would. So that's 1. Oops. Better get that before Stella finds it. Stella finds that cookie, that chocolate chip, and So, yep, it's 2 cups. I probably could have read the front of it and it would have told me. And now I dumped it all in. So now it's gonna get even stiffer and harder for me to mix it all together. This, you definitely have to do by hand. You don't want to use a mixer with that one. Okay, and then mix it again. Fold it again. Okay. Thank you for joining me. You've got Mary live. I do have to say that every so often because people jump in and on and off all the time. In, out, in, out, in, out. So as you jump in, I want to let you know that you've got Mary live and we are making some cookies. But you got to stay to the end so you can taste the cookies. You got to see how sweet the cookies are. All right. So now we are all done with all that. I'm going to put all of this in the sink. Oh, to get washed. Excellent. More paper towels. I ran out of paper towels over there. And make some room for the cookie sheet. So the eggs are from the farm. They are farm fresh eggs, so farm to table here. The other animals that I have here on the farm are Papa Pig. We have chickens, obviously, because I have the hens that are laying. There are chickens, there's no ducks. I used to have ducks. I rehomed the ducks. There was another farm that had a very large pond. I had no pond here at the, I still don't have a pond, but if I do make a pond, I will then consider getting some ducks. But I had no pond for the ducks to be in, so I rehomed them to another location where they could swim, as ducks like to do. Now, it is going to be rounded tablespoons on an ungreased cookie sheet. So now I have to go and get my cookie sheet. I have two ready to go. So we're going to use the first one and drop big balls of gooey mix onto, there we go, get everything out of the way that I don't need. And let's get our mix going here. And I have an extra chocolate chip cookie, extra chocolate chip. Okay. Let's get this out of here. Let me get a rounded, I think they said teaspoon, stir, just so you know. So I didn't have to keep referring. I did write out a whole list so that I could refer to it without glancing at this every 30 seconds. But it is tablespoons. So we're gonna go with the big one. Yes, tablespoons. So a rounded tablespoon, put it in my hand, roll it in a ball, and plop it right on down. So we're just gonna keep it on. And that is very ooey gooey in my hands. So there's 2 and 3. Trying to make them round, but the balls aren't coming out round. They're very sticky. They're not quite so round. And then let's get that one. 4. Ooh, trying to do this one-handed. It's easier to manipulate the ball with 2 hands than it is with just one. So it's like a stress ball, trying to do one at, anyways. Okay, there. Thank you so much for joining Mary. You've got me live. PSA, public service announcement to you. If you get a message from someone claiming to be Mary, reaching out and to text you back or to do anything like that, it's not me. So be careful. You are on my bona fide, verified account. This is my, my one and only account here. So there, you have it. You've got me live. This is the account to follow. Don't follow the fakes. Make sure you're following the real Mary. If you have questions on where you can follow me, please go to my profile. Yes, please. As I drop these rounded balls, they're not quite rounded, but that's okay. I'll make them as round as possible. And there. All right. Those are very, very sticky. This one's a little. I don't want a little one. I want them all the same. And that one's a little. So we're going to add a little bit more to the littles so that they're not so little. There. All right. was saying about that bulk, the big granules of salt, well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 1 or 2 granules on. I have to rinse that off. There we go. Rinse those hands. Get it out from under the nails. Alrighty. And yes, I probably go through a roll of paper towels as I go through and make my different treats for you. All right, so I'm gonna come back over here. Here's my rock sugar, salt, if you will. This is a coarse graded, coarse sea salt. I just want to have a few of them, and a pinch will do ya. There, and let's get down there. Pinch will do you. 1 or 2 granules, just to give it a little something extra. Just a couple. Whoop, that one didn't make it on. Whoop, that one didn't make it on either. Well, it stuck to my finger. Oh, get on there. That one stuck right there. Okay, excellent. Now, ready to put it in the oven for 9 to 11 minutes. Let's do it. Let's do it. Here we go. Put it in the oven. Put the timer on for 9 minutes and start it. And let's get the other sheet. I'll check it in a minute, well, in 9 minutes. And I have to get the cooling rack out too, because I have a cooling rack. We're going to use that cooling rack as well. Thank you so much for joining me. You've got Mary live. You do, it's live, not Memorex. It's an old-time commercial. I'm dating myself there by saying live or Memorex. But if you tell 2 friends and they tell 2 friends and so on and so on, that's one of the original Herbal Essence. The Herbal Essence hair shampoo is still around today, but that's how one of their commercials went to. If you tell 2 friends and they tell 2 friends and so on and so on and so on. Cooling rack, let's get that out. I'm just gonna move that over there for now. It will come right over here so that you can smell and taste those cookies as we go. All right, now, let's see. My hair is in my face, so we're just gonna use my glasses as a headband. Pull it back. Sunglasses are usually the most expensive headband women will ever have. All right, we're back to putting balls. Big balls. I've got big balls. You've got big balls. But I've got the biggest balls of them all. AC/DC song. For those of you that don't know, that's an AC/DC song. And let's put another big ball over here. Tablespoon. Each one of these is a rounded tablespoon. And putting it on the cookie sheet. And there we go. Ooh, that was a little bit bigger. There. No, that's got a point to it. I don't want it to have a point. It's supposed to be a ball. A ball is not supposed to have a point. Thank you guys for joining me as we make some yummy, yummy, yummy ooey gooey chocolate chip cookies. It is the original Nestle Toll House recipe, and it is all from scratch. I did not have a hand mixer, so I even mixed it by hand to get it the batter exactly the way that I wanted it. And just like my gate was manual. Thank you for everybody that has made that one go viral. Thank you for my fans for following me. If you don't follow me, you should follow me. There's always something fun and exciting happening here. And even if it's not fun and exciting, that's something a little bit different. I try to bring you the day-to-day stuff in a fun and entertaining way. I do not give in to any of the negativity that is out there, so you'll see a lot of negative comments. You know what? They can just keep on scrolling. That's all right. They're helping me with my matrix. Sorry. I don't happen to agree with them, but whatever. To each their own. I'm not for everybody. I am an acquired taste. So if you don't like it, I completely understand. So just choose to move on, right? But if you don't choose to move on and you want to stay and watch me, go right ahead. You're welcome to join me on this adventure that I have embarked on here at the farm. I have another cookie sheet ready to go. As you can see, I look like the Cookie Monster myself. I've got ooey gooey fingers right here. So I am going to turn around and wash those hands off. I made like them on the way. Sorry, I know that there's a whole thing about the, don't do this and don't do that, but it's a rite of passage. I always did as a kid. It's not going to stop me now. Okay. Wash those hands and get ready for the next batch. So we still have 4 minutes left on that next batch. So this would be a good time for you to ask me any questions that you may have while we're waiting for that first batch of cookies to come out. And you can see that I have done, how many have we done now? That's 24 cookies. 24 cookies, and I still have a load of batter to go. So there's way more cookies to make. Question is, who's going to eat all the cookies? Are you going to help me eat all these cookies? I'm going to put those on that. I'm going to wipe this up because I have to move in. I have to also move in the cooling rack. And I'm also going to show you, this is a butcher block tabletop. I built this island, excuse me, I built this island originally. It was a project, it was Project Source, Lowe's Project Source cabinets, the wood cabinets, and Lowe's also sells a 5-foot butcher block tabletop. So I designed it with what I wanted, which was 3 drawers on either side, a big drawer in the middle, and 2 doors underneath. So when it came to renovating the bunkhouse kitchen, I decided to keep this as well as just rehab it a little bit by painting, instead of having it be coconut oil on it, to paint it. So it's painted a gray color to go with the rest of the bunkhouse. I still haven't painted the walls, but at least I got the shelves up, so I'm happy about that. But I want to take don't mind me as I move stuff around, to show you. It's very heavy. The insert that goes with the sink. So when I bought the sink, I did buy remnants. I didn't have to buy a whole slab. They were able to manufacture or fabricate it, if you will, out of remnant pieces. And it's a beautiful pattern. It's grays and whites, and it has some red in it that is absolutely stunning. And it's natural stone, it's granite. But when they fabricate it and they cut out the sink area, do with the sink insert? And they said, nothing. We usually just keep it, but it's such a small piece, there's nothing really to do with it. And I said, well, I bought it as the whole thing, so can I have it? And they said, absolutely. So if you're gonna get a granite top, you should ask them if you can have the piece. I am using it as a centerpiece on top of the island here. And it's really heavy because it's thick. When you get like a charcuterie board, or you get a cheese crackers, or just a cutting board, it's very, very thin. As you can see, this is very, very thick. This is an inch. Do I have my measuring tape? I do. Look at that. I have my measuring tape. So this is there. It's an inch and a quarter thick. So, and this is very, very heavy. There, it's very heavy. And it's not super shiny. As you can see, it's not super shiny. It is what they call leathered. And if you look at it from certain angles and you feel that it on the top, it is actually textured to match the flow of the stone. So different things have different heights on it. It is sealed, so there is a sealer that you can purchase for it. And it just has the netting on the back of it that they put on there as they were cutting it to make sure that none of it broke off. It did have a little piece that broke off here, which is fine. It just gives it some character. Right there on the edge, you can see it just chipped a little bit. But the beautiful thing about this is most of the time I use this as my cooling rack, or when I pull something out of the oven, because you can put it on the really hot stuff. You can put it on the stone surface and it's not going to score it. It's not going to take the finish off. It's going to be perfect. Whereas the wood, well, you can't really see it, but right over here, I put something hot down and it burned the wood. Makes sense that it would burn wood. Okay, so I'm going to use that as a place to put the hot stuff here, the cookies. So let's take a look. All right, timer, and got it. There we go. And here's my 9-minute cookies. There, right there. There they are, just for you. And they're a little bit thin, so I could actually cook them for a little bit less than that. So we're gonna go with the timer. Oops. Start. Yep. And then we're gonna timer it, and we're gonna do that for 8 minutes. And start. And let's see. So those are gonna cool for a second. Sitting right there. There's no reason to do anything with that just yet. We can let that sit. All right, in the meantime, I can answer some questions for you. If you have questions, just put them right there in the comments, because if you put them in where it says questions, I don't ever get to that. All right, I can feel the heat. Oh, I overcooked that poor one. That poor one's overcooked. Maybe I should try to get them onto the cookie. Let's try to do that. Right, and now I need a spatula. There we go. Let's take those off so that they don't cook anymore, because they'll continue to cook while they're on there. I don't want them to cook anymore. I want them to be done. So that was only 9 minutes, and that's with me doing the hand mixing and everything else. So you can see it's 9 to 11 minutes, and they're pretty good size. So I am going to make sure that this next one is not it's going to be a minute less. Make sure it cooks enough without burning them. We don't want burnt cookies. We want ooey gooey cookies, fresh ooey gooey cookies. And there we are. Now I do have to let this sit for a second and cool. So we're going to move this over, and we're going to wait for batch number 2. Just to see how it goes right there. All right. Now, I'm sure mine would be fluffier if I did have an actual mixer, but since I don't, that's what we got. All right, so what's your questions? If you have any questions, go ahead. This is your chance to go ahead and ask me. Welcome. Did you say you were from Palm Beach? Welcome from Palm Beach. I am here in Alabama. Thank you so much. We just made some chocolate chip cookies, did them from scratch. It was the Nestle Toll House original recipe, and I did it all by hand because there was no hand mixer. So, I do everything here is right here through your social media platform. And if you see things about, or if you get something from me saying that I am reaching out to you and I want you to text me and I want you to do this and that and the other thing, that's not me. Just so you know, I don't reach out to anybody unsolicited. And if you send me something to these accounts, you're on my account right now. This is my real account. You've got Mary Live. Thank you for the hearts. So this is the account for you to follow if you're going to follow me. This is Making It with Mary Live. So this is my true account. If you have questions where to find me, you go to my bio, look in my bio, and that's where you can find me. So that should take care of that. But I don't reach out to you guys. So if you see someone saying they're MaryBurke reaching out to you, it's not me. It's a fakey phony full of baloney. Thank you for the roses. I love roses. Mother's Day is coming up, and I love roses on Mother's Day. Maybe I'll get myself a rose bush to plant here at the farm, so we can start a tradition every Mother's Day and plant something. Yesterday I did a live. If you saw it, I don't know if you saw it, or you might have seen the rebroadcast of it, where I was planting some seeds. It occurred to me here at the farm, I've been so focused on doing big projects, like renovating the bunkhouse and installing the barn, the pole barn, and getting the garage up to house the Jaguar. So getting all those things in place, I completely forgot about part of the farm, which would be the vegetables. And if you've been watching me for a long time, I usually grow peppers. So I have chili at the Florida property. I have raised beds where I have mini green peppers, red peppers, sweet peppers, and then I also have jalapeno peppers and chili peppers. So I also did an experiment and grew eggplant for the first time, and it did really well. I was so impressed. I got 3 huge eggplants out of that, and that was a lot of fun. So, but I haven't done that here. I won't have time to do it from seed, so I will be going this week, probably tomorrow, maybe tomorrow or Saturday. I will go and purchase some pepper plants. So yes, I will get some pepper plants, and I will be growing some peppers here on the farm as well. The deck has been done out front and on the rear. So I have new decking front and rear with rails. So the rails are up on both of those, and the rails are inset a little bit, so that way I can put pots all the way around it and do some of my gardening that way, because I haven't picked a place here on the farm yet to actually till the land and plow it and make sure that I have a big garden yet. So that will be for next summer. For this summer, I guess I'm just doing some raised beds and some potted plants. Thank you so much for joining me. You got Mary live. You got me live. Okay, this one should be. Now, see, this one's it's all cooled down. So I'm gonna slide the stone back, and we can get crack-a-lackin' on the next one, on the next cookie sheet, because I only have 1 minute and 31. Ooh, I gotta go a little bit faster. Here we go, I only got 1 minute left. Okay, but that's one big honkin' cookie if I wanted to do it that way. We're not gonna do it that way. We're gonna put this, we're
can I put this? Where can I put it so you can see everything? There. All right. Thank you for joining me, Mary Live, as we are in the final stages of making these cookies. I can smell them. I know that they are almost done. Yes. So I did them for a minute less this time because they got a little too brown in the last round. So we're going to tailor that back a little bit and go a little bit quicker. So I'm only doing them for 8 minutes this time. Let's see if I get another. So I'm gonna get like 36, maybe 36. There, I gotta scrape more. I gotta scrape more, there's more. But wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. Okay, there's a nice big one. That was a little, so we're gonna go there. And then I gotta get this out of there. The fingers are all gooey. You can't see it, but my fingers are in there and they're all gooey. Okay, so we're gonna leave that off to the side. And then we're gonna get in there. Oh, there it is. And I gotta grab those quick because I don't want it to overcook like the last ones. So we want that to be really good and fresh. Okay, I got, see if I can make 3 more. Okay, I'm coming. It's calling me, I gotta go. Gotta go to the stove and go get the stuff out of the oven. I don't know if I'll have enough to make 2 last cookies. Okay, squeeze it off there. There, that's, okay. Oh man, I'm gonna be 1 short. And I think that's just because I was so ooey gooey. Like, I don't know if I can make that into anything. Can I make that into anything? But it doesn't have a chocolate chip on it. Can I steal a chocolate chip from the other one? Ah, yeah. Okay. It's gonna be too little. Too little. I'm not gonna even make it. It's too little. Okay. Now. Okay. Done. I heard ya. Okay. Let's grab that before it gets too cooked again. Alrighty. Here we go. Let's put that up there. And let's put this next batch. Back in. There we go. There. And then we're gonna bake it. We're gonna time. We're gonna do 8 minutes. And we're gonna start it. All right. So let's get that last little bit over here. All right. Now comes the fun part. Lick the batter. Leftover batter couldn't cook. Oh, come on. You know you do it. Don't tell me you don't. You all like to lick that batter. Who doesn't? It's the good stuff. Okay, let's bring this over. Let's see what we got. Even these ones. All right, so we're gonna have to look at that again. This one's heavier. Let's get 2. Let's get 2 fingertip ones. There we go. So here's this batch number 2. So are you ready to test out the cookies? Let's try them out. Here we go. I'm going to bring over the cooling rack. And let's stack these ones up. Like I said, I got some extra crispy ones. I'm okay with the crispy ones. I like the crispy ones. Not everybody likes the crispy ones. I understand. But I overcooked them. And it was 9 to 11 minutes. I only did them at 9. So my oven is really hot. Either that or it's really hot in here, one or the other. So thank you so much for joining me live here in the bunkhouse kitchen. You may have seen we put new windows in, new cabinets, new countertops. I drilled the drawers, put the handles in, painted, have a breakfast nook, put the uppers in. There's all sorts of stuff. New flooring in. So that's all stuff that has happened here inside the bunkhouse. Never mind what's happened outside the bunkhouse. Here's your cookie. Would you like? Here's your cookie. Okay. They're not nearly as fluffy as, say, if I'd had that hand mixer, I could really have beat them and made them super, super fluffy. But here is your chocolate chip cookie right there. Yes. All right. Now you just need some milk to go with it, right? I have some milk for you too. Milk and cookies with Mary. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, if you don't follow me, you should follow me. And if you have questions on where you can find me, it is best to go to my bio. Oops, he flipped right off. I don't want to flip, jumped right out of pan. All right, there we go. And then I don't have any more cookies to do, so those are gonna go in the, that's now gonna go in the sink. I'm gonna let it cool a second. Yep, still a little too hot. Excellent. All right. So, thank you for joining me here, making it with Mary while we are making those cookies. Put that in. And now you can see that whole thing fits right in there. It's not sticking out of one side like you have when you have a dual or two bin. You have the two-sided basin on the sink. I went with one big open basin, and that's the main reason why. Is I usually am cooking for a crowd, and when I do cook for a crowd, the sink is not adequate to do the cleanup that I need to do. That's it. I'm making you hungry. I'm happy that I'm making you hungry. You should be very, very hungry. You should be able to smell the chocolate chip cookies. Now that's a realtor trick if you didn't know that. If you ever go to like an open house and it smells like cookies, oftentimes it's a candle. It's a cookies candle that they that they make, or they did actually heat up an apple pie or make cookies, and that is to give you that homey feeling when you go. They give you the ambiance when you go into like an open house. So that's another little tip, just cause. Thank you so much for joining me. You've got Mary Live. I hope you follow me. Thank you for helping me make my videos go viral. I couldn't do it without you, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Your comments, your likes, spending time with me here at the farm as we go through this adventure together, rehabbing and revamping this farm. We haven't even started in on the farmhouse yet. The farmhouse is from the 1800s, late 1800s, early 1900s. The bones of it are fantastic. So I am kind of itching to get in there, but there's so much other work to get done. It's a project for a little bit later. So stay with me. Thank you for the hearts and for the gifts. I love those. I love when you share with me. I appreciate each and every one of you for joining me this evening. So, let's see. Yes, cookies and milk. So we're going to take a big one right here. Are you ready to bite in? Are you ready to bite into the cookie? Come on. Let's just dip, or let's just bite right into it. Mm-hmm. Very yummy. And I have a whole tray full ready for you. You ready? You ready? You ready to have some? There's a whole tray of cookies that I've been making for you, just for you. If you want to find out where you can find me, the best way to find out is to go to my profile and check out my authorized social media platforms. You've got me live. You know that this is me. Don't follow the fakes. Make sure that you're following me, the real Mary. Here is Big TT, Mary B, the MaryBurke 3, and the MaryBurke. Those are all original good accounts. So enjoy. Okay. Now I definitely need something to drink with that. I am not a milk fan, by the way, so I won't be drinking milk, but I will get a water. I will have a water with this. Or a coffee. I have a coffee. See, just a little dab of coffee. It is no longer hot coffee. It'll be lukewarm coffee, room temperature coffee. Not iced coffee, because I don't do iced coffee. I don't like iced coffee. I don't know why. I don't like iced coffee. Stay tuned. Tomorrow is putting on the red roof on the garage lean-to. I'm going to take that out real quick. There we go. Now that's looking yummy right there. See? This is the best batch yet. Right there. Best batch. Let's take this down. Let's take that down. Oh, I got some cookies sliding. Put that up on the stone. Take the cooling rack down. Try not to have them all fall off. Caught it. There we go. I was trying to slide instead of pick up because if I slid it, but I dropped one. Okay. But I caught it. Don't worry, I'll eat it. There. Just call me Cookie Monster. Sesame Street. Cookie Monster. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me this evening while we made cookies together here in the bunkhouse. I'm hoping that you are having a wonderful evening and that you follow me. If you do follow me, thank you so much for following me. I appreciate you joining in and being part of it. If you don't follow me, please follow me. It's a lot of fun here on the farm, and I try to bring that to you every day in a different way. So hopefully you'll just join in and join along. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and everything. I am going to turn the oven off because I don't need it on anymore. Off. Close that door. And it is time to dig in. I'm going to stack up my cookies. I've got stacks and stacks and stacks of cookies now. And put the newest, freshest ones right on the cooling rack. Take it off of, whoa, that's a big one. That's a big one. And it's still rather soft because it's still fresh from the oven. Here's another big one. They got a little bit bigger at the end. That's why I couldn't get that last one to fit. And there we go. We've got Mary live, and we have just finished up making our chocolate chip cookies. Can you see it? Can you see it? There's the chocolate chip cookies. All right, time for you to dig in. It's still warm. It is still all melty. And I did have to do it by hand, so they're not as fluffy as they would have been had I had the hand mixer or the big mixer. I had to do it all by hand. But they are still delicious. Handmade from scratch. I didn't take them out of the, I didn't go into the store and buy the refrigerated ones and break off. I've done that. I have done that. In a pinch, I have definitely done that, where I broke off the cubes, stuck them on the thing, and threw them right in the oven. Depends on how much time you have and how much time you want to spend on it. So I spent a little bit of time with you here tonight making some cookies from scratch. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you have any questions, now's your chance to ask. I am going to turn away from you for a minute and put the pan into the sink. Again, I now have a gorgeous big sink. And I am going to stand up a little bit higher for you so I can actually lean over and read some of the questions if you have questions for me. If you don't, it's going to be time for me to say good night, arrivederci, au revoir, ciao, auf Wiedersehen, adios. What other ways can I say good night? Good day, good night, mate. Anyways, I am in, somebody asked where I am. I am at the farm in Alabama. It's southeast Alabama, so I am south of Montgomery. I don't like to tell you exactly where I am. Gotta find that out. Thank you for liking my apron. This apron is actually, it's a waxed apron. You can't tell. I wear it so often you can't tell that it's waxed, but it is waxed, and it was from Crate and Barrel. I saw it and I said, I have to have it. So I splurged and got it. But thank you for liking my apron. So, oh, from Argentina. Welcome from Argentina. Thank you for joining me. And any other questions you may have, you can tell me where you're from and what you're doing tonight, besides wanting some of my cookies. I am going to have a bite of cookie. So, and if I don't get to your question, you can send me a DM. It will take me a while for me to get back to you because it is just me. So I do try to answer. I do try to heart and get to my likes and my comments. It does, again, it takes a while. It takes a while. There's only one of me and there's a million of you. So I know there's only one of you. But it does take me a while to get through and answer. So just be patient with me. Just be patient. I try. Thank you so much for joining me this evening and helping me with my cookies. Chocolate chip and laying them out for you. Time for you to come and get it. So, cookies. I do have milk. You'll have to come get your own cold milk. So, if you have any questions, this is your chance to go ahead and ask me any questions that you may have. I will try and answer you the best that I can. Thank you for the hearts and I love getting the hearts and the gifts and everything else. And the reason that I look so tall is because I stood up. I have a little stool. Yes, just a little stool for me right here. No, I'm not in that area. Somebody asked me if I was in a specific area in Alabama. I'm still new to Alabama, so I'm still learning all the areas of Alabama. And south, I am, I guess I'm about an hour away from Dothan, if that helps you out at all. But I'm south of Montgomery, still in Alabama. So, thank you guys for joining me this evening. Hopefully you follow me. Hopefully you like the content that I put out. If you don't like the content, don't worry about it. I'm not for everybody. Just keep scrolling. It's okay. I don't want to feed into any negativity. I'm here to be positive, and I'm positive that I will do just fine and have a good time regardless. So I'm hoping that you guys also enjoy what I do and the content that I bring you. I try to bring you something fun and exciting and take you out of your day. Sometimes you need to escape. Why not? Why not join? Why not come to the farm? You live vicariously with me. Thank you from Italy. Welcome. Somebody said I had Disney eyes. Do I have princess eyes? I didn't know I had princess eyes. How did I know that? I didn't know that. Let's see. Okay. That's really all I got for you guys. So it is going to be time for me to say good night. So long, farewell, until we meet again, until we get together again and I get to do some fun stuff together. I'll try to think of another live that I can do with you. I like doing things. I don't sit still very often. I like to be involved. So a lot of the times people will put in comments, you know, oh, she doesn't know how to hold a drill. She doesn't do that. I'm not an expert at anything. It's just me trying to get it done. So I do know a little bit about everything. I'm not an expert in anything. I just try to get it done and have a good time while doing it. So these projects that you see, I can't sit still. I don't just sit there while people are working. The caveat to that is, you know, when they come in with heavy granite and stuff, even then, I had to help them. They had a pressure thing here, and I had to help them with that. There was pieces that they wanted to put in, so I came over and assisted where I could while they were doing their work, while the granite people were doing their work. For those people that wonder about the granite stuff, they did recommend that every 6 months, I just ordered it on Amazon, that you seal your granite with granite gold. So I bought some. So I have it on hand to seal it. And they said the biggest thing to check with your granite is when you pour something on your granite, it should run off. If it absorbs, then you know it's starting to not be sealed anymore. But on top of that, if it makes a ring, like if you put a cup down and it has condensation on it and it drips down, if you put it on wood, you're going to get a ring. Well, if you put it on the stone, it's supposed to bead up. It's not supposed to sink in. If it does sink in, then you know it's definitely time for you to reseal. And all you have to do is spray on the stuff, or wipe it on, and spray it on, and wipe it on, and then you're done. That's it. Real easy peasy. I like easy peasy. So thank you so much for joining my live. You've had Mary here live while we made some cookies. I made some chocolate chip cookies. I had to do it all by hand because there was no mixer, so it was all manually powered this evening. No power, except for the stove. But as far as the mixing, I had to muscle through it. I had to stir it by hand, get it as fluffy as I could, get it the consistency that I wanted, so the sugar wasn't too granularly, and that it had a nice texture to it. Worked out well. Cookies taste fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Don't mind me as I eat in front of you. But I don't like to talk with my mouth full. So, it is going to be time for me to say good night, everybody. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you that follow me. If you don't follow me, you should follow me. You've got Mary. This is the real account. Make sure you're following the real account and not the fake accounts. Okay? I'm going to say good night. Thank you. Somebody sent me the good night. And it is time for good night. And I appreciate, again, each and every one of you. Follow me. Have some fun. And take a cookie with you when you leave. Good night, everybody. Bye. Let's see. Let's go that way and that way. And then it's time to do this as well. Coming over, coming in, and saying good night.